There are different data providers that you can work with that will sometimes rent you a list, and they have different models on what they charge. But again, we've seen success with that. We still see success with some of our interest targeting and some of our lookalikes, but not like we don't see the same level of success that we see with some of our broad targeting. But again, in order to make our broad targeting work, you have to be sending Facebook the right signals so that they know exactly who to target within this broad pool.
So targeting strategies generally are leaning toward broad on the Facebook side of things. If you have your data set up where your pixels are firing selectively and based on the factors that actually correlate together to create a sale, you're definitely way ahead of the game. But sometimes Facebook will get a little bit lazy. So what happens algorithmically, Danny explained to me, is basically when you say, okay, broad audience targeting, here's my data signals, go find them for me. Facebook will go and identify like a pocket of that audience and generally play within that pocket, right? They'll, okay, cool. Now we're going to hang out within this pocket. And that's the case because you find frequency going up, you find percent of first time impressions going down in a lot of cases. So I like to use a concept called the broadest relevant audiences. So you're still selecting some settings, but you're going with the broadest relevant audience. So you're looking for audiences of at least 1 million people in most cases. So you could have your broad campaign and that will work, but a lot of times there's some burnout. You need to, continually rotate in new creative. But I like to force Facebook to not be lazy by rolling out other fairly broad campaigns, but that have a little bit of targeting and just force Facebook to look like, instead of just looking and playing within this little pocket of audience, let's look over here, Facebook. Come on, stop being so lazy.
Yeah, and we've done that within CBO campaigns. We'll have a campaign with different audiences where one might be broad and one might be that more refined list that Chris is talking about, and eventually phase out the more refined list as the broad learns and matures. We specifically do that with newer accounts though.